He followed in his father's footsteps, and tonight, Detective Dennis Briscoe shares with us his nearly two-decade-old battle to see his father's killer, Ralph Bays, executed. In a rare interview, Briscoe talked with Gabriel Roxas about his long fight and how the death penalty is at the heart of the battle.
Deputy Arthur Briscoe had only been with the Powell County Sheriff's Department a few weeks, but it was enough to make a lasting impression on his 14-year-old son, Dennis.
You know, he used to drive me home in his cruiser and everything. I remember a lot of it.
Happy memories don't come easily. Most of Dennis Briscoe's life has been shaped by a defining moment.
I remember I was in gym class, and you know, someone came to the PE and said that I needed to come to the office, the principal's office.
It was January 30th, 1992. Briscoe's mother was waiting to tell him something had happened to his father and to his uncle, the sheriff, as they tried to arrest fugitive Ralph Bays.
My uncle was shot in the back as he was trying to crawl away through the cruiser, you know, away from the gunfire. And then my father fired a couple magazines of ammunition towards him. And as he's running away, trying to load a third magazine, is when he shoots him in the back. And then comes over, stands over his head, and shoots him in the back of the head.
A jury sentenced Bays to death for the murders of both officers. But for almost 20 years, he has avoided execution, with one legal challenge after another.
I do not deny having killed both these officers. Absolutely not. From the start, I have been open.
But in 2007, just weeks before his scheduled execution, Bays told WKYT that he acted in self-defense.
It's pretty hard to claim a self-defense when you shoot him in the back of the head like that, isn't it?
The courts have repeatedly rejected Bays' self-defense claims, but questions over Kentucky's lethal injection protocol took the case all the way to the United States Supreme Court. By then,
I don't have enough to get a warrant on him right now.
Dennis Briscoe had followed in his family's footsteps, becoming a police officer.
Finally, this case is going to the Supreme Court, and in my mind, it wasn't just influencing my case, but it would be influencing all the other cases, you know, in the United States that, you know, maybe we can shut the door.
The Supreme Court rejected the challenge to lethal injection and lifted a national moratorium on capital punishment. But 3 years later,
it does feel cruel.
Ralph Bays continues to live on death row.
It just keeps going. You know, there's no limit. I don't, you know, that's one of the things I don't understand. Someone has to step up and say, well, when enough is enough.
Gabriel Roxas, 27 News First.
While the Kentucky Supreme Court reviews issues with the state's death penalty protocol, the American Bar Association is also doing an assessment that it hopes will serve as the basis for possible reforms.